Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi, and a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful Akim out there pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi has created us to do, so he can wake up and seal the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations that may look like the heathen nations, but your father's seed line goes back to you being the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American, one of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Hey, Shalom. It's your brother Halakia from the GMS Denver camp, coming back once again through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi with another video. And this time I want to start right here in 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10, because you just had New York come out with their nuclear fallout PSA. And why is this happening, man? It's because this is how it ends. This is how YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi has determined to take out Babylon the Great. And these elite and these higher ups, they hear what we're saying, man. And everything in the earth that's going on between these different nations, it all leads up to what? Nuclear war popping off. It's not a coincidence that they made that PSA, man. It's all spiritual. It's all according to prophecy. Because America is going to be completely torched from the north to the south, from the east to the west by way of thermal nuclear fire, man. So 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 10 says what? But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. And how is this going to be made possible? When the Most High puts the spirit upon these heathen nations to shoot those thermonuclear missiles to the land of America, man. And it's going to come as a thief in the night because what? You people don't believe what we're telling you. You think it's far-fetched. You think America can never be touched. You don't think that these people will go that far. But guess what? That's exactly what's going to happen because it's the will of the Lord. You see? This is the will of YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi, man. You see? It says what? Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in our holy conversation and godliness? And that means what? We have to separate ourselves from the world, understand and know what the will of YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi is, and walk in that spirit of obedience, man. Understanding and knowing that great destruction is about to take place here in this earth, especially here in Babylon the Great. Verse 12 says what? Looking for, when we're looking for this, we're praying for this, we're putting curses upon this place, saying the Lord's Prayer, begging the Lord to end this place. It says what? Looking for and hasting until the coming of the day of the Most High. And this is what the true believers are doing. We're not praying for the Lord to hold off 10, 15, 20 years from now. No. You got Israelites who are in that spirit. Oh, that ain't going to happen in my lifetime. Maybe my grandkids' lifetime, but not right now. Nah, it's going to happen in this lifetime. This is the last generation that's going to ever inhabit the land of America, man. It's not going to go past this. America doesn't have another 5, 10, 20 years, man. Lord willing. YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi is about to get rid of this place. And his prophets, his men, and the rest of the true believers of YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi, we're begging for him to bring destruction upon America, man. Because we know once America is destroyed, the kingdom of heaven can be established. So 2 Peter 3 and 12 says what? Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Exactly. And that fervent heat is going to come in the form of what? Nuclear missiles, man. And this is why you had New York put out this PSA. From what? New York Emergency Management, man. So let's watch it.
So there's been a nuclear attack. Don't ask me how or why, just know that the big one has hit, okay? So what do? There are 3 important steps that I want you to remember. Step 1, get inside fast. You, your friends, your family, get inside. And no, staying in the car is not an option. You need to get into a building and move away from the windows. Step 2, stay inside. Shut all doors and windows. Have a basement? Head there. If you don't have one, get as far into the middle of the building as possible. If you were outside after the blast, get clean immediately. Remove and bag all outer clothing to keep radioactive dust or ash away from your body. Step 3, stay tuned. Follow media for more information. Don't forget to sign up for Notify NYC for official alerts and updates. And don't go outside until officials say it's safe. All right, you've got this.
And the thing is, this whole commercial is bullshit because we just read in the prophecies that the elements shall be melted with fervent heat, and everything that surrounds us is made of elements. Even our flesh is made of elements. So what is the Most High telling us? Everything is going to be destroyed in the land of America. Nothing will survive. Not no building you're hiding in. Ain't gonna be no fucking cell phone service to check to see if it's over. Everything is gonna be completely melted by way of thermonuclear fire, man. So this whole PSA is bullshit. But it shows you, you see, this whole thing shows you what it's moving toward. Nuclear war is about to pop off. And America is going to receive the greatest destruction the world has ever seen before, man. So let's get a few more prophecies on this great destruction that's going to come to the land of America, because this is written all over the scriptures. You see? Matter of fact, let's start right here. One of my favorites to go into in this topic. Isaiah 13, we'll start at 6. It says what? Ooh. Verse 5. Isaiah 13 and 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even YAHAWAH and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. What is that talking about? The ICBM missiles, man. Those are the weapons of the Most High's indignation. Those are the ones that's going to come from the end of heaven. You see, this is why they're called hypersonic intercontinental ballistic missiles, being shot from one end of the heaven to the other end of the heaven, or one end of the earth to the other end of the earth, as it tells you in 2 Ezra 16. You see? Verse 6 says what? Howl ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. You see that? This is all judgment from the Lord, man. For what you've done unto the Israelites here in this land, and for all the wickedness that you have propagated all throughout the earth, man. From all the things, this is the punishment of you Edomites, for all the things that you've done unto us all throughout your history. Going all the way back to when you were calling yourself Cain. You see, all that blood is being piled up upon you. Now it's time to pay. It says what? Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them, and they shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. There is nowhere to run. There is nowhere to hide. I don't give a damn what type of building you're in. It's going to be completely erased once that fire sweeps across this land, man. Engulfing what? Cars and buildings and people too. Melting the flesh right off your bones, man. And it tells you that in prophecy. Verse 9 says what? Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and to destroy the sinners thereof out of it. So this is why this destruction is coming, man. As a punishment from Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi. You see? Because this is the most wickedest place on the earth, man. Here in America is the worst and most wicked place on the planet Earth. So it's going to receive the greatest destruction the world has ever seen before, man. You see? This place is completely out of order. Wherever you turn is out of order. Nothing but wickedness is all around us, man. But the Most High is he's gonna solve that problem by doing what? sending fire upon this place, just like he did with Sodom and Gomorrah. You see? Let's get because I don't want to read all this. In fact, we'll keep going. Verse 10 says what? The stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause a light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. You see that? That's because you still have a lot of people out here talking shit with all this stuff popping off in the earth. You still got people out here mocking and scoffing and talking shit. Oh, I don't believe anything you guys are saying. This is never going to happen. So if it's going to happen, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? You're going to find out. It's going to happen exactly when Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi needs it to happen. All you need to know is it's going to happen. And all that arrogancy and all that pride and all that haughtiness and exalting yourself against the Most High, as if you're something, is going to be brought low in that day, man. You're going to be brought into a complete state of despair, a complete loss of hope once those missiles are shot off, man. Once they start to make contact with the land here in America. Like we always say, it's going to be a whole lot of shutting the fuck up going on, man. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be fucking beautiful, man. Lord willing, we'll find worthy to make it up out of this. But this place has to go, man. And how the Most High has deemed it to go, beautiful. Beautiful, man. Verse 12 says, well, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. And that means a man that believes in Yahawashi, an Israelite man first and foremost, because we are the prize, not you fucking women. You are just a possession. You see? The man is the prize, and that's what Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi is going to show you people in these last days. It says, well, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of Yahawah of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. You see that? The earth is going to be moved out of its place. Do you understand how big the earth is, man? And the Most High say he's going to move it. And how is that going to be done? By way of this great destruction that he's about to unleash upon this planet, man. 14, and it shall be as a chase roe, and as the sheep that no man taketh up, that they shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone to his own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So if you want to continue on in Esau society, if you want to continue to be up under the so-called white man, if you refuse to repent and come back to the understanding that you are the Hebrew Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, guess what? You're going to be thrust through with the sword. The Most High is going to allow this destruction to rain upon you, man. And you're going to partake in the Edomites' judgment of thermonuclear fire. Verse 16 says what? Their children also should be dashed to pieces before their eyes, meaning destroyed. And their wives shall be spoiled, and their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. What does this word ravish go into? Because all this goes into the day of the Lord, man, which is going to be a dreadful day. You see? You see what it say? To ravish those who adore the No, they ain't talking about that. Dated, she was ravished by a stranger, rape, sexual assault, abuse, violate. And these are the times we're coming into, man. And you're going to start seeing that happen out here in this earth a lot more. Because the whole moral fabric of America is gone. And once shit really hits the fan, ain't going to be no more motherfucking 911. It's going to be straight anarchy and lawlessness out here, man. And a lot of you women, the majority of you women, are going to be the targets. You see? We're not making this up. This is what the scriptures say. Verse 18 says what? No, verse 17 says what? Behold, I will stir up the Medes, which are the Russians, against them. Against who? Against Babylon and Great America, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. You're not going to be able to bribe your way up out of this one, man. Why? Is because it tells you that in Revelation that the Most High is going to put upon the spirit of these heathen nations to do his will. And what is his will? For America to be destroyed by way of thermonuclear fire. Verse 18, their bows also shall be dashed. It's like you. Isaiah 13 and 18, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. When these missiles are shot off, they're going to be indiscriminate. They're not going to see a pregnant woman and say, oh, I can't land right here because this woman is pregnant. Or a woman that's giving labor in the middle of giving childbirth, and they were like, oh, no, I can't detonate right here because this woman is, no. These missiles ain't going to see a 5-year-old like, oh, that's a 5-year-old. Let me not land over there. No. No. These missiles are going to destroy indiscriminately, man. Meaning, if you are on the soils of America, and you're not when these missiles start to detonate, and you're not a part of the elect, you are going to be destroyed. And the Most High tells you how this place is going out. Isaiah 13 and 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, which is America, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, how did Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi overthrow Sodom and Gomorrah? By way of fire and brimstone. The same thing is about to happen here in America. But this time, the fire and brimstone comes in the form of 200 million thermonuclear warheads. Why do you think it's so much talk about hypersonic missiles, man? All these nations building these nuclear warheads and these nuclear missiles for what? To do the will of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi, which is what? To completely eradicate and destroy the land of America. And it tells you in verse 20 that what? It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt them from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. This land is going to be a complete desolation, man. A dry land and a desert. Ain't gonna be no more heathen nations coming up here setting up shop in your 7-Elevens and whatever other food places you open up. Ain't gonna be no more of that, man. Once again, this is the last generation that's gonna dwell in the land of America. Because once this place is destroyed, you see, it'll never be inhabited again. But it tells you who is gonna. Well, it won't be inhabited by man again, but it tells you who is going to be inhabited by. Verse 21. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. You see that? Desert creatures is what's going to inhabit this land once it finishes burning. And it further adds on to that in Revelation 18 that the land of Babylon the Great America is going to be a cage of every foul and unclean and hateful bird, man. You see? Every foul spirit and a cage for every unclean and hateful bird. That's what the land of America is going to become. A fucking wasteland, man. To be what? A memorial to the rest of the nations of what not to be. America and the spirit that America comes in is not something to look up to. It's something to avoid. It's something to stay the fuck away from. And the Most High is about to make an example of this place, man. An everlasting memorial of what happens when you live wickedly. What happens when you live as these Americans, man. Fire and brimstone on your ass. That's the judgment to live as these people are living in this land. Isaiah 13 and 22. And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged, man. And this is why you see PSAs about nuclear fallout, man, because that time is fastly approaching. The Most High, Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi, is about to drop the curtain upon Babylon, man. He's about to wrap this place up in the greatest fashion the world has ever seen. This is about to be the greatest firework display the world has ever seen, man. You see, I want to get another one. Let's see, Isaiah 34, another one of my favorites, man. Oh, man. Yep, Isaiah 34 and 4 says what? And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And that goes into what? Once a nuclear missile detonates, it forms that mushroom cloud. And when you actually look at it from the side, it looks like a scroll of paper, or a paper rolled into a scroll as if it's being rolled up. That's what the mushroom cloud resembles, and that's why Isaiah described it the way he described it, because he was seeing mushroom clouds. It says what? And their host shall fall down as the leaf falleth from off the vine, and as a fig falling from a fig tree in the arcing motion, because that's how it works. You have those missiles that are shot out of the silos, and it flies through the heavens to its destination, and it falls in the arcing motion, man, as if a fig was blown off of a fig tree by a strong wind. It doesn't just fall straight down, man. It falls in the arcing motion. You see? Verse 5 says what? For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Now, who is Idumea? Idumea, right? Edomite, Idumean, descendants of Esau. Land of Edom, Idumean, land south and southeast of Palestine. But that lets you know who this is talking about. The Edomites, man. The so-called white race. This is your judgment coming upon you for all the wickedness that you've done in this earth, and especially what you have done unto the Israelites. You see? And to prove that this is talking about you, let's go to another one of my favorites, Ezekiel 35. Yup, Ezekiel 35 and 14. It says what? Thus saith the Lord power YAHAWAH, when the whole earth rejoiceth. And why is the earth going to be rejoicing? Because the righteous are going to be in authority. That's why. So when the earth is rejoicing because the righteous are in authority, what does the Most High say? I will make thee desolate. That's what Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi is going to do to the Edomites, man. He's going to make them desolate, man. Verse 15 says what? And as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi. And it begins with what? It begins with Babylon the Great being destroyed, and ultimately and eventually, we're going to gather up every single seed of Edom, all of you Edomites, whose forefather goes back to being Esau, Edom. You're going to be gathered up and destroyed, man, by more fire. You see, because what? You are the people of the Most High's cursed to judgment. You were set up, you white people, you so-called white people, the only reason you were set up in this earth and given what you've been given, you see, and reserved the way you've been reserved, is to receive the greatest judgment the world has ever seen, man. You were created just to be judged by way of nuclear destruction, and ultimately fire when we eradicate you from the earth after that 1,000 years of hardcore bondage in the kingdom of heaven. That's the only reason you so-called white people were created. Verse 6 says what? The sword of Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs, which are Israelites, and goats, which are you heathen nations, mainly you Edomites, and the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahweh have a sacrifice in Basra, which is America, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, which also represents America. You see that? And how do you offer a sacrifice unto the Most High? You do it by way of fire. That's what, like Apostle Hall has been saying, America is a great altar unto the Lord, man. And you people are going to be the burnt sacrifices. You see? Verse 7 says what? And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. Whew! And why is that? Verse 8 tells you. For it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance, and the year of recompenses, for the controversy of Zion. So all this is coming upon this place for what has been done unto the Israelites, us so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Most High hasn't forget all the shit that you heathen nations have done unto us, especially what you Edomites have done. Once again, this is why America's going to suffer the greatest destruction the world has ever seen before, man. Because what you have done unto Zion, the children of Israel. Verse 9 says what? And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. Whoo! By way of what? Nuclear fire. Everything in this place is going to be engulfed by fire. So getting in a fucking building is not going to help you. The building is going to be melted with fervent heat. Verse 10 says what? It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. You see? That's the judgment written for the land of America, man. You see that? And you can keep reading on because it continues to go. And that in this last portion of this chapter precepts right with what Revelation 18 is saying. Because America is written about in the scriptures. You just have to have the spiritual eye to know and understand it. So let's get another one, man. Malachi 4:1 says what? Malachi 4:1 says what? For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. What day is that? When the Most High puts the spirit upon these heathen nations to shoot those nuclear missiles here to the land of America, man. That's the day that burneth as an oven, wherein the elements shall be melted with fervent heat. And all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahawashi Yahawashi of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Complete destruction of the land of America, man. And all of the 2/3 and the rest of you heathen nations along with it, man. And another one. Now I wrap it up on this one. Zechariah, was it 14:12 if I'm mistaken? Or 12:14? Nope, there it is right there. Zechariah 14:12 says what? And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. What is that? That's the elements being melted with fervent heat. You want an illustration of that? You want a visual? Go watch Terminator 2 Judgment Day. They were telling you in their Hollywood movies this is how it's going to end, by way of thermal nuclear fire, man. And this is why you see the spirit come upon the New York City emergency management
and don't
team
go outside
to put a video together talking about what? Nuclear destruction. Because this is how it ends, man. By way of fire. Thus saith Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi. So with that, I'm going to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi bahasham qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopefully let Akim out there pushing this word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi has created us to do. And with that, I'm going to say shalom, wa, abad, babal.